Rest. The countdown is beginning.
Oh no! People are gonna see what's at my lower third. That's not good.
Oh no!
Don't you just hate when you wake up and your lower third is gone?
It sounds
Son of a bitch.
quite a problem. Like you've been something like talking.
What the? Oh my God! Stop changing everything, Google. What the?
Google, why?
Oh boy, this is all fucked up.
What a great start.
Welcome to Seattle's Angels. It's all fucked up.
Yeah. Well, that's our tagline. Put that on the bottom of the poster.
It's either that or you must faff this much.
Poster?
Of course we do. Sock's working on it right now.
Yeah,
Right,
definitely.
okay.
The Seattle Angels store for $99.99.
99 billion. We're not.
Yes.
We ain't cheap.
We ain't cheap.
We're worth it.
That's debatable. We're certainly not
It's
cheap.
not debatable. Don't debate it. That'll work.
Oh dear. Oh, this is the first stream we were doing after Christmas, so I hope everybody had a lovely Christmas. One of the things that I got for Christmas was this lovely new microphone. Ooh. Which I've been showing off a bit.
I can tell because you're not all staticky and you actually sound good.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. For once. Oh god, Pav's just sent the message. This shit like now.
As opposed to now later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, now and later.
We shall discuss Christmassy stuff in a bit. First of all, I'm just going to quickly go over these stories that we did in the previous round with Sock, who tried to kill Santa Claus, as always. The first one was Wings by Not a Hat, and it's a Spike. Character building, world building, all very lovely. It's a pretty short story of 3,500 words. It's not something that will take an entire afternoon to read, but it's really good. The main thing about it is it's got a really good characterization. Both Spike himself, who is obviously an aged-up Spike, and the OC, a zebra called Rishi, I believe.
Something like
They are both very well written. Hey, Pabs joined us.
Hey.
that.
Who wasn't lying?
Hey. Oh, Jake wants to have our babies except for Alex, who can have his. He's
Winning
also
first
got hers
babies.
now. Yes, winning versus star.
Don't hurt that.
Yeah.
It's never not started.
Yes.
You can't stop the winning versus babies.
You can't stop a winning pony.
God damn it.
You can try.
Wait.
We're definitely gonna try. Yeah, Wings, very good characterization. Spike feels himself, even though he is the aged-up version, and it's just a lovely little 3,500 word story. So, and in that review, I posted a GIF of Spike imploding, which Alex Straza appeared to take quite a liking to.
It's a great GIF.
It's a pretty good GIF.
It's fantastic.
Second story, A&E, the case of the obsessive compulsive disorder. It's a comedy crime fighting duo who don't end up fighting a lot of crime and have an awful lot of comedy, and one of them tries to seduce everyone. It's not a serious story by any means of the imagination, especially when literally the entire world gets turned upside down.
So it's a typical good cop, bad cop routine.
It's more bad cop, sultry cop, except it's bad in the case
Oh,
of...
hang on. Did you say sultry cop?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just wanted to be sure.
Like, within the first few paragraphs, she's already trying to seduce Pinkie Pie at a bar.
Look, as you do.
As you do. Perfectly normal thing for a cop to do on a Saturday night. But yes, it's very much not to be taken too seriously. It's well written, very sitcom style humor on occasions. Not much more to say than that. It's just a very light-hearted story. It's the longest one there. It's at the moment 17,000 words with
Jesus.
some chapters.
For a comedy?
it's actually got a story, or at least it's starting to get a story in the chapters.
Are you implying that
No.
comedies can't have stories?
Implying that ponies
I don't know,
can't
Alex.
have
You would know
stories?
the answer to that.
I'm not implying that comedies can't have stories. Your library would imply otherwise.
Look, there's a lot of symbolism in other literary things.
Like Twilight turned into a massive book.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Anyway,
There are unconfirmed rumors that there are words in Alex Madden's things.
Unconfirmed. No one's actually read them to confirm it so far.
that's true.
Third one, A Day at the Beach.
Not even me.
Not even you. As an author. We still haven't gotten the bloody Suplexia, bastard.
God damn it.
Yes.
What
I'll
are you
get
even
around
good
to it when
for?
I decide to write something again.
You'll start with Scootaloo Dies a Bunch, right?
Sure. Yeah, whatever.
Leaving us on a fucking cliffhanger.
There's like
Lulu dies by
I-
Celestia giving her a suplex.
no, I seriously need to write like the last 200 words that the next Scootaloo Dies Bunch chapter. I just don't want to do it. It's like right
you
there.
lazy shit.
It's pretty much done.
At least you can follow my model. When I had a fic finished, I sat on that fic for like 9 months, and I was intentionally withholding it, but I was doing that to be a douchebag rather than being lazy.
Look, I'm just gonna be lazy. I'm not gonna lie about it either.
At least he's honest and comfortable with himself.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Anyway, story number 3. A bit of a change from the other two. It's a bit of a change in terms of its topic. Its length is still only just over 2,000 words, but it's very serious. It's inspired by the themes of remembrance from things like D-Day and.
Wait. What? There's a
Yeah.
fic inspired by D-Day?
Inspired by the themes. He
What kind
posted
of
the story
like
that
dying?
inspired it. He posted
real?
the story that inspired it, which was it was the anniversary of D-Day. I think it was this year, because he wrote it this year. And he looked on TV, and absolutely nobody was doing anything to remember that D-Day happened on the anniversary. Like, not even the History Channel, which was instead doing like porn stars or whatever bullshit it got on TV. So he got upset at that and decided to write a thing that was about remembrance, and A Day at the Beach was that. It's when Alex said it was inspired by D-Day, technically true, but that paints it in much worse light than it
I
is.
was gonna say, because that's what it sounds like
Yeah,
when you
it's,
said.
it's much more of a memorial piece. Than it
Yeah,
is-
yeah, memorial.
Okay.
Like
Fair enough.
when
In
you
the-
say
in the
inspired
same
by
way-
D-Day, it sounds like you're saying inspired by D-Day, like I would say inspired by 9/11 with Baroque nexuses, when towers fall or whatever, which was
Sure. Because I mean, like inspired by D-Day in the same way that shit, I'm thinking of the wall of names in Washington D.C. is inspired by the Vietnam War. That kind of inspired.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. D-Day happened, thus a pony story. But
It's in remembrance of would be a better. Although it's not really about D-Day, I assume, because look, as far as I know, there was no ponies at D-Day. I wasn't there, so I can't confirm, but it seems unlikely.
No first-hand sources can disprove this theory. But no, the thing is that there's no actual pony D-Day occurring in this story. It's basically a decade ago from when the story takes place was the end of a war between ponies and griffins, and it's an anniversary, so everyone gets all somber and goes to this anniversary thing on the beach where some big battle took place, and that's all it is. It's another very simple story, lots of somber feelings, lots of that sort of thing. It's well written. Like it's as I said, it's difficult to describe it without making it seem like some horrible let's recreate World War II but make it technicolor this time with equines. But no, it's good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the last one, the story which everybody fucking has to read, is Feedback by Curly Q. It is it's 1,000 257 words long, so it's 5 minutes at most, even for the slowest reader. This thing is both an example of why rarity is excellent, and the day-to-day horrors that reviewers and editors and pre-readers have to go through when this piece of constructive criticism can end up with you being struck by lightning and drowned. So.
What now? Hang on. I was like barely listening, and then I heard was you got struck by lightning and drowned.
The story of Feedback is Rainbow Dash writes self-insert fanfiction, and Rarity tells her that it's not the best story she's written, and Rainbow Dash reacts in a way you would expect of a first-time author.
That's okay. That sounds pretty funny. Did you do well? I guess. Wait, was there 3 or 2 comedy fics in the last round?
I think 3.
Damn. You couldn't find any good real stories?
No. Actually, no, it was 2 comedy fics. One of them did have elements of comedy. There was Wings, which was an introspective. There was the Private Detectives, which was comedy. The D-Day one was Remembrance, and the last one, which was comedy. So, 2 out of 4.
Ooh, hang on now. Floyd says that Feedback was decidedly meh. So I don't know how you want to respond to that.
Well, he is clearly not as good a reviewer as many people think he is. Well,
Floydian is decidedly meh.
Does Floyd do?
Ooh.
I can't remember. See, does he? Is he even right? Is Floyd in right? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he reviews things.
Since
when?
Yeah.
I can't.
Since like a year ago at least.
Longer than me. What the fuck?
Yeah, longer than you.
Huh.
Dear.
I did not know that.
His name is on the list well before yours is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my name's also bigger and more important, so.
Yes, but.
Yet another example of the ongoing feud between Seattle's Angels and the other review groups.
No. There isn't any feud between us and the other groups. There's us, and then
we are
a bunch of groups that like to think they review things.
Exactly. We allow them to exist out of the goodness of our hearts.
No. There's us, and then there's other groups, and then there's all the commenters that say, whatever you do, please don't adopt Seattle's Angels system. because we are glacial and unapproachable.
Are we?
Yeah.
According to one person.
No, there are others who agreed.
I actually agree with that because what that person wanted isn't what Seattle's Angels is.
Oh, did he want a review of his story?
No,
he wanted someone to quickly, somewhere where he could go, review my story, tell me that it's decent. And
then you don't understand how Seattle's Angels works. I mean...
See, there are people who like us, and there are people who don't understand us.
There's people who like us, and there's people who are wrong.
You don't understand, okay? We're special.
Oh, God. Asia's mentioned Living the Dream by Kick-Ass222 Your Mom.
That is real. No, that was a joke. That sounded like a joke.
Everything you need to know about that story is that it's written by Kick-Ass222 Your Mom, and that is his actual username.
That sounded like a joke. I thought she just made that up.
No, that is real. See, it's actually it was a relatively kind of popular story back when stories were first being written.
Really?
It was really popular.
It kind of kickstarted the whole thing.
I just need to know how big is the hole in your head where your imagination is supposed to go that you have Kick-Ass222 Your Mom as your username on a pony website. It's like how many of all the things
to be fair, it was probably something like his gamer tag.
I was gonna say it could be worse. It could have XXXX Kick-Ass222 Your Mom XXXX.
Uppercase, lowercase. I would like to point out, I'm looking at the description of Living the Dream right now, and it says very clearly here, note, not a self-insert.
No. Well, oh, look, if
Well,
they say
no,
so, then it's not.
One self-insert. It's like 20.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, doesn't he have like
It's
8
like-
friends who turn up or something? I don't know.
There are like 8 million OCs, and they're all self-insert.
If I recall, it was quite literally every brony goes into Equestria as their OC.
Yes, I remember this
Christ.
story. The synopsis.
Whoa!
And
That was-
I think it was within the first 10 chapters.
We've
protagonist.
talked about this before. It was the world has ended for humans, but people get a choice: heaven, hell, or a world of their choice. A young
What?
man chooses
Who
to
would
go to the
pick
land
hell?
of Equestria.
Or heaven for that like for that matter, who the fuck would pick heaven and be like, no, fuck that, I want to go to like.
You know, Alex
Middle
brings
Earth,
up
I
a
don't know.
point. Why
I
would
would've-
you let someone choose between going to heaven or hell? Who's gonna pick hell?
Or
No,
heaven.
no.
Like I would rather go I would go to the planet that's in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy with all the naked women. That's the one I would go to.
Forget about heaven. Your other choices are hell or a world of your choice. So anything that you can possibly imagine, or hell. I choose hell.
Hey, okay,
No.
wait. If the Earth is going to be destroyed, can I go back to an Earth that isn't going to be destroyed?
That would be a world of your
Go
choice. I
Well,
assume that's legal.
let's see.
Look, presumably part of this deal is that you're immortal. So even if the Earth gets destroyed, what does it matter? You just float around in space for the rest of eternity.
I want to go to
See,
space.
This is like being the dick who wishes to undo the other
Space.
wishes, you know?
Space.
The world of your choosing is the world that hasn't blown up, so nobody else gets to go to Equestria, or hell, or heaven.
By the way, can you really just get away with putting this story is not a self-insert and just like claiming that when you're
Yes.
clearly contradicting it?
Authorial intent.
Because if that's the case, then I want to write a story saying something like Celestia does not die in this story, and in the first like 5 words she's dead immediately, like a fucking immediately she's already dead.
There's a story like that called Scootaloo Goes to Heck, and it literally kills Scootaloo within the first 5 sentences.
No, but that's true to the story. That's like saying Scootaloo goes to heaven, in the first 5 words she goes to hell immediately.
The next chapter of Scootaloo Dies a Bunch is where Scootaloo becomes immortal. Like, literally immortal.
The last chapter
not
is
this put-in, like, constantly reincarnating because she can't really die bullshit that Alex has got going on. Like, she can take a truck to the face and just walks away from it. That is the next chapter. Oh, dear.
And then she has to figure out how to actually start dying again before the universe implodes or something.
Yeah. So she...
I'm saving that
She
for the movie.
picks...
I'm
She
saving
picks
that one for the
either go
movie.
to heaven, hell, or die constantly. Done.
Guys, if I can quickly interrupt you, M1 Grand chimed in here about living the dream. He informs us that in one of the chapters, one of the friends of the main character becomes a dog, falls in love with Winona, and impregnates her.
Oh God.
Living the dream, boys.
Yes.
We can also tell that he put a lot of effort into this because the cover art is apparently original art of himself and Twilight Sparkle snuggling on a couch, and then there's just a random pony creator baby pony like standing right in front of the couch. Like clearly the rest of the picture is clearly like drawn and like painted, but then there's just like a pony creator pony right there.
Yeah, but then he after
Is this like where you've got screen caps of the episode and someone's put a red and black alicorn scene amongst the mistake?
Yes.
The whole Winona thing that Pat was talking about, that sounds to me like the prequel to Winona Commits Abortion.
Oh God! Oh God! Swiftly onward.
That's where it went too far.
Yeah, moving swiftly onwards. So let's get away from. Wait, actually, the thing was they could go to heaven, hell, or a world of their choosing, right?
Yes.
And this guy chose Equestria. Why didn't he choose Equestria where he's God?
What? Oh, because you can pick different versions of it.
Yeah. Like a world of his choosing, make a world where it's Equestria.
Presumably, if your world that you want to go to is Equestria, What you're really saying is you want to go to Equestria where everyone wants to have sex with you. That's what you're really saying.
Yeah.
Especially Winona.
Yes.
Aye.
But yeah, enough of living the dream. Let's move swiftly away from that. Speaking of like old stories that have been read recently, I mentioned last time that because of the way my job works, how I've got about an hour and a half break where I've started reading on my phone. I recently got upon Harmony Theory, which is pretty excellent as always.
Yeah, Harmony Theory is great.
Yeah,
Is
there
mantle
anyone...
now that
Oh, I liked it before. I just caught up on the
okay.
chapter.
All right.
Is there anyone in the Angels who actually doesn't like Harmony Theory? Just quickly.
I've never read it, so I'm gonna dislike it on principle.
Good man. Good man.
Sticking to your guns.
Yep.
Respect that.
I also read the entirety of The Flight of the Alicorn and its sequel.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Isn't Flight of the Alicorn, isn't that like 700,000 or something?
I'll go check quickly. I know that the sequel is like 2 chapters and it ends on the most ridiculous cliffhanger ever.
Actual pirate ponies burn down Rarity's house.
While Rarity
That
inside.
sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, Rarity is inside with Blue Blood. Pirates turn up outside, start to burn it down. It's only 200,000 pav.
Okay.
Fallout Equestria.
I only read the first 5 chapters and the ending of Flight of the Alicorn, but I'm going to go ahead and recommend it anyway, because it's really good.
The Flight of the Alicorn, it's a good story, but it's definitely tell it's sort of like written during season 2, season 3.
It was
definitely has that sort of feel. You know?
It was from the earlier days of the fandom when.
Yeah, it definitely feels like an earlier fandom story, which you know you can get away with that because it was written in the earlier days of the fandom. So, I will. It was when I reached the Flight of the Alicorn. I didn't know that there was a sequel until I looked at the bottom. I was like, oh, there's a sequel to this. Read the first couple of chapters of that. I was like, this is the most ridiculous cliffhanger because you've got Blue Blood and Rarity in the middle of a burning house with laughing pirates outside. This was written 68 weeks ago, hasn't been updated since, and Pony Dora Prancy Pants has been offline for almost 9 weeks.
Why?
So it doesn't look like that cliffhanger's going to be solved anytime soon. Unfortunately, I've also read,
It's like Firefly getting canceled in the middle of its run instead of like at mid.
I know, right? God.
What difference would it make?
I just want to watch more Firefly.
I also read 30 chapters of This Platinum Crown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chris, you're still not done.
Yeah.
When's End of Ponies updated again?
What, sorry?
When's End of Ponies going to update again?
Never.
At
the end of Ponies.
Mm-hmm.
Heyo.
This Platinum
Whoa.
Crown is creeping up on 800,000 words.
Jesus. You know, when I met Captain Chrysalid at the at BronyCon, and he told me he had read my Live Free or Reinhard fic, I didn't really know how to feel about that.
I met him at BronyCon a couple of years ago, where it was Cyborg Samurai who had broken ribs at the time or something like that, and Chrysalid was there. We all went for sandwiches or something. I can't remember. He was definitely a cool guy though. He spent a lot of the time hanging around with D. I get the feeling those two are actually yeah, definitely. So Chrysalid's a cool dude.
He is awesome. I really liked him. He's
the weirdest thing about BronyCon is to turn up there and just realize that actually so many people are actually cool dudes. Like
because like I don't know. I mean, if somebody just showed me FimFic and like was like, hey, look at all these cool people, I'd be like, look at all these fucking nerds and they're fucking ponies. And I would think they're all like such weird people. But then you meet them in person, and most of them are really cool. There are weird people. Don't get me wrong. But most of them are cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not even there are people on FimFic who I want to hate. Like I want to hate Penstroke for unleashing Nyx upon the world, But having met him in person, even though he's 7'5" or whatever stupid fucking height he is,
yeah, he's somewhere around there.
he's over 7 foot.
Are
I know
you
that.
sure he's not
fact.
8 foot?
But like, even though he's bloody scraping the cloud layer, he's actually a really cool dude, and he's really humble.
He's cool, but I want to hate him for giving bad advice during our during the panel we had.
Oh dear, did he give bad advice?
He gave terrible advice.
Oh dear.
About
Oh, no.
about one specific subject. Everything else was pretty decent advice, but this one specific subject, BP and I looked at each other and were like, "Whoa, should we stop him?" And I'm like, "No. We don't have much time. Let's just keep going." But that was terrible advice.
Don't leave us hanging. What was the question? Yeah.
Somebody asked us. They were saying that they were writing a story that was not about the main six, but they wanted to ease people into the story. And Penn Store's like, "Oh, just start the story with like Rainbow Dash or something, and then eventually transition to your OC." And I was like, "What? No, that's terrible advice. Wait, that's baiting and switching people. That's awful. Don't ever do that."
Start the story with a character that the story is not about.
Yeah, no, that's a terrible idea. Please don't ever do that.
Oh dear. And then that isn't great advice. But even people who before BronyCon I did actually dislike as a person. Like I didn't like Bad Horse at all as a person before
Yes.
BronyCon. And then I met him at BronyCon and he was actually when we hung out. And I've probably told this many times before, but on the second day he turned up and said, "I realized I'm supposed to hate you." So, the feeling was mutual.
Yeah, Pav and I met Bad Horse at Cloudsdale Congress like 2 years ago. And that was before I knew him on FimFic. So I liked him at first, and then I knew about him on FimFic, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's kind of fucking annoying." But I was like, but I already like him, so I can't. I had like the opposite reaction.
Yeah.
So I like Bad Horse. He just annoys me sometimes.
That's the best way to describe it. But yeah, I've just been reading ridiculous amounts of Horsewood. All this, like reading The Flight of the Alicorn and 30 chapters of this Crown and catching up on Harmony Theory and all the other stuff, while doing reviews, so that was interesting.
Oh,
Surely worth
next round is due at like the end of the week, isn't it?
Yeah. No. We're pushing the reviews week back a week because of
Thank God.
Oh dear. And yeah, that's a fair point. We actually Sock and I did the reviews in under 8 days, so just over a week. So
Sales Angels. Foresight is our go-to motto. Because we can think of our work ahead of time, like last time.
We were on time today. We started this hangout at a reasonable time. But anyway, I want to discuss this thing because Floyd is going to keep on prodding me until I do. It's the skirts.
Well, then we should ignore Floyd and just not talk about it.
Oh, sure. Let's get it over with. It's the skirts without skirts thing, which I've mentioned once or twice.
The what?
And I'm just about to explain it. So,
Shut the fuck up.
Before you explain it, can you just tell me what... No.
Okay. In the BronyCon chat, a bunch of different people were having a discussion. The topic of skirts as stories came up in the discussion. And
It's inevitable, like every other day.
Yeah, but Obbs and someone else were getting into this discussion about his writing style, and I came to the realization that I don't like Skirts' writing at all. I've never liked it. None of his stories I like in the way they are written. I don't like the way Skirts writes stories in the slightest. But the thing is, he writes really interesting ideas and concepts and worlds and places, and I find that instead of reading because I want to read his works, I put up with his writing in order to read about his ideas.
Right.
And I read his stories despite of his writing, not because of his writing.
But I mean, is it fair to say just the ideas, or I mean, like, you know?
Oh no,
as was referenced in quote, only good characterization.
Right.
he does amazing worlds, he does amazing characters, he does amazing things, but just writes about them in terrible ways. This is, and I found that I wasn't the only one who thought this. Like Norse Pony said that was exactly the way he felt as well, and I found that probably an example of this, which I think maybe more people feel this way than they realize, is with Background Pony, because the most common thing you hear about Background Pony is, oh, it should have been a one shot. You know, you got people saying that. The first chapter was great, and then it just went on and on and on. During these thousands and thousands of hours I've spent reading in the past couple of weeks, obviously, I actually finished Background Pony, and I liked the ending. However, I don't feel the ending was worth the hundreds of thousands of words I had to go through to get to the ending. So, while it was a good ending to a good story, I feel that I would have been able to put up with the way it was written more if it ended after chapter 1.
Sure. So.
And but yeah, the Skirts Without Skirts project was what Obs and someone else were discussing. I can't remember his name.
It was a Polar Riposte, I think.
Yeah, Polar Riposte, that's the one. And the basic idea is you need to get one author and one reader, and the reader would have to have no idea who Skirts is, no idea about his stories or about how he's written them or anything like that. And the author would take a Skirts story, and while keeping the story the same, de-Skirtsify it, get rid of all the ludicrously floral prose.
So rewrite it in their own style.
Plagiarism?
Oh, well, I know it would be plagiarism in that case, but it's not to publish it as a story, but as an experiment.
Presumably, Skirts would be in on this and giving the approval.
Presumably, yeah, but this is just an idea. They're not actually carrying it out to the time. I'm aware of the idea being that.
I think you would also have to have a lot of different readers. You can't just do one.
Possibly. Well, yeah.
If you want a good sample size, then
yeah. Absolutely. But this is all just a hypothetical experiment where the author rewrites the Skirt stories, and you're trying to see if the audience would actually prefer the story more if it wasn't quite as floral as Skirts does. Or maybe I'm completely wrong and other people are completely wrong, and the way Skirts write it is part of the appeal. I mean, it's possible, I suppose.
I'm gonna go with people's opinions are different, and some people like purple prose, other people don't. That's what I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna say that every author has their own style, and
I guess I'll save you hours and hours of work and say some people are gonna like Skirts more and other people's won't.
We do have to also
there you go.
We do have to take into account that Skirts was basically the first writer who started writing like that in the pony fandom, or at least the first one who got popular with it.
Who wrote like that and who was successful in doing so. Who was not,
that.
I think it's more that
read to the end of his story.
I think it's more to do with the fact that he got popular, despite the fact that it was quite so long. Because I read End of Ponies because I like the End of Ponies story, and that's the first story I read. I
don't want to. I don't want to. I don't know what's a good word for it.
God damn it, Alex.
I don't want to shit on the people who read stories in this fandom. But I don't think most people come here looking for heady dialogue and purple prose. And not to say that there aren't people that enjoy that, but Skirts is like, he's not quite on the level of like someone like James Joyce. But he's in a way FimFix James Joyce, where he takes one day and stretches it out over like a ridiculous word count. And not everybody wants to read that.
And yet he is actually like
I know.
In the same feature box where like it's like, oh, Luna touches a doorknob rated mature for
but if you look at like I'm not so sure that everybody who reads Skirts' stories actually likes Skirts for Skirts, because if you look at all his alt accounts, which everybody knows his alt accounts, it's not very hard to find out.
To be fair, no one knew about
they have
for like at least 8 months.
Well, I know, but people know it now, and they don't have near as many followers. The stories get barely any views now. It's just sort of like people follow Skirts because he's already popular, and popularity begets popularity.
Partially, I think it's also partially because I don't have any interest in the other stories on the other accounts. Like, I don't give a shit about Apple Dating. So
the one is just pure. There are two of them actually are purely Apple Dash. So,
and as much as it pains me to say it, because I know I think Jake's actually a part of the story in some way. I know C Squared and I know a bunch of other people are. I have no interest whatsoever in the Austria series, none, because it's I just
starting at this point, catching up would be. I know people have caught up. But it would be something
like where you need to spend a dedicated 2-week period.
It's gotten to the point where people know about it because it's gone on for so damn long. You'd have to be deaf to not hear about it,
right?
Rather than it actually being like popular.
Yes,
but I mean, yeah, like popular in like circles like these, and anyone who would follow a group like Seattle's Angels who's looking for that kind of fiction, yeah, I could see them going for a background pony thing. But like again, Skirts' stuff is getting and yeah, there's inertia because of his because of his watcher count, but his stuff is getting up into the feature box regularly, even with these horror overblown things. So it's the general populace who's also resonating with it. Is the general populace only following him because he's popular, or is he, despite the purple prose, somehow reaching out to the general population?
I don't know, but like, look, the other people who are popular, not to diminish anybody who I'm about to list, but Rainbow Bob is up there. He gets featured constantly.
Mm-hmm.
The Abyss gets featured constantly. Akumo gets featured constantly.
There is a point where you just want, as soon as you've reached this like critical mass of followers, you automatically feature.
I mean, there was a point where everything I posted got featured. Not anymore, but it used to be like that. And I don't think it's because I'm speaking to anybody. I think it's because I gained enough followers that it just didn't matter. I was
there is such a thing as brand loyalty, especially in the pony fandom.
Yeah. But that's my point though, is that you listed off like Alex, you, Rainbow Bob, Akumo, a couple of people like that, and like those stories are ones that resonate with a large number of people. I mean, you post a story like that, you're getting a lot of watchers per story, and something like background pony that gets posted like. Isn't that a little? Well, I mean, I guess it was posted, with just one chapter.
Look, I don't. But I think
is that too dense to just like, oh God, followers. When before he had background, because he started with End of Ponies, then he went into Background Pony Chapter 1, then he started expanding Background Pony, and that was like, at that point, it was like every single update was going to the top of the feature box. So Background Pony Chapter 1 must have, I don't know if it's kind of like the My Little Dashy thing, that it just resonates with this wavelength that resonates with a lot of the
well,
readers.
I just want to throw out there, I distinctly remember the first chapter of Background Pony having over 400 likes, but no dislikes.
Yeah.
So I just want to throw that out.
That's kind of what I was trying to get at, is like, it seems to me like Skirts, like lots of other people that it got popular. Like one story, one or two or a couple stories. Everything else they post just gains a certain number of views because they already have lots of followers. So it gets into the feature box and enough people see it that it gets a couple thousand views. But people don't follow Skirts for all of his random one-shots. People follow Skirts for Background Pony and for End of Ponies and for the other one that he did. I just forgot what it was.
I follow him because I actually like the stories he writes.
But I'm gonna guess that you're in the minority.
Yeah, he has gotten a lot of people for Background Pony, and a lot of people probably don't read his one-shots, but he has enough followers that do like him that read those shots and then get him up on the feature box and stuff.
Right. Yes. It doesn't. It actually doesn't take very many. It doesn't take that many views to get in the feature box. You can do it. Yeah. Like as long as you get 100 views within like the first hour, and they're not all downvotes, and you get about 20 or 30 favorites, you're going to get featured. So it doesn't really take that many followers. You just have to have dedicated followers.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty simple.
Let's face it, Skirts has more than a couple hundred people following him. You know.
That's my point. Is that you don't need that many, and Skirts
Skirts could just pretty much publish anything on that account, and it would be guaranteed to be featured.
Right.
I mean, he's got 5 alts now because of that.
Right. I don't want to.
Did he actually make those alts to keep himself from getting featured too much?
I think he's trying to more or less escape the popularity with the alts. But then
I thought he just did it because he didn't want to have everything on one account. But
the secret Austria account. Yeah.
But because like it's not like he makes it a secret that they're his alts. If he wanted to escape popularity, then he would make it a secret. But everybody knows
initially, and then people figured it out. And he's like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that tells me they didn't really care to begin with.
Well, like once it's like once someone's found out your secret, it's admitting the secret once someone already knows. Because I knew that Austria was written by Skirts, and that
he has a very distinctive style.
Exploding colon was Skirts. I knew that long before he came out and admitted it. You know.
Yeah.
I had severely like. I had a good few guesses at some other alts of his, which I'd seen lying around, which I thought may have been his, and I think I got 1 or 2 of them right. But at that point, once the secret's already out, once the cat's out of the bag, you might as well just, you caught me. So
I guess, but I don't know. I mean, it didn't seem like he was trying that hard to keep it a secret to me.
No.
But I don't know. Whatever. This is why we should have got him on the podcast.
Well,
I can bring him on the podcast if you guys want.
Do it, Billy. Right now. Do it right now.
Okay.
Damn it! I was going to talk about something dangerous. Damn.
Well, do it. We got time while we're waiting to find out while we're waiting for Skirts to reject us.
Yeah.
So jumping back to Skirts without Skirts. So I mean, background pony, you can kind of contextualize how that would go, but like for some of his longer stuff like Austrio and End of Ponies, or even like Fear and Loathing or Never, or some of the stuff that's not like epic length, but still over like the 15-20K mark. Like how do you condense that kind of plot? Is it really just stripping out just the purple prose, or is it condensing the plot?
The way that I interpreted it was sort of rewriting it in somebody else's style, and seeing if it's Skirts' style people like.
But actually, that would be a nice experiment if you take any story and just spread it out about like 10 or 20 authors.
And see if people like the story or people like a certain.
You have to use some characters,
because
a certain setting,
we should send this to OBS as the next not the most dangerous game thing, but the next whatever it was, Boat Murdered. Oh no, Pwn Murdered. And the one before that was something else similar, but where they get a bunch of famous authors to work together.
Because what I was going to say about all that is, Skirts is, I don't remember what it's called. No, I do. I Met a Pony in Hell and We Kicked Ass Together.
Yeah.
No, actually, shit. I was thinking of Lyra Meets the Punisher.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine somebody else writing that story and it being even funnier than it is. Because I enjoy it, but Skirts' prose gets in the way of my enjoyment because it takes so damn long for a short story. It's still like, Jesus Christ. I don't need 800 words for a guy's head being exploded.
I would be in the same boat as Alex and Plum, because I first started reading End of Ponies because it seemed like a good idea, and it just I got so fatigued trying to get to the good ideas that it was just like.
Yeah, like there are some stories of skirts which I'm willing to put up with the word fatigue, like end of ponies or background ponies to an extent. But if it's not a world that I can really get into or some characters that I can really empathize with, I just find myself going, fuck it. I
There's
can't
also
be
the
arsed.
fact that End of Ponies, and maybe I don't read too much of Kurtz's work, but I imagine Australia has the same problem where it has sort of an epileptic plot tree where it just branches off into bajillions of different sub stories that you don't really care about. But he spends 100,000 words on those too.
Right.
Oh dear. Ah well.
We have questions in the chat from Deja.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do M1's
gosh.
question. Damn it.
Which question?
M1 asks if anybody likes the Interstellar traction. The Interstellar soundtrack, even though it was composed by Hans Zimmer, as if that was a bad thing.
Hans Zimmer's a damn good person. I've not seen
That's
Interstellar.
why. It's great. I love Interstellar. I saw it. Did I see it 3 times or just twice? I think I just saw it twice. It was great. I loved it, and it's got a fantastic soundtrack. It's amazing.
I think the only movie I've ever seen twice in cinemas is Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's literally the only one in the history of my life.
When they re-released Lion King in like whatever digital remade or whatever for the fucking like 10th or 15th anniversary or whatever, I saw that shit in the theater 3 times. That's my favorite Disney movie, and I watched it so much. I love it.
Oh dear. But yeah, I told Alex about this and possibly Cisco, I think he was there, in the time I want to tell this story about Elite Dangerous, because Alex and I were having a bit of discussion about Elite Dangerous in the pre-stream chat. And I'm just going to start about. I've not really described the game properly in any way that does it justice. Cause I've mentioned it a couple of times, but it's really goddamn fun. The game it basically starts, and you are a guy in a spaceship, and you are free to do whatever you want in an entire galaxy of possibilities. Like you could go to Earth and just start firing missiles at your home planet and probably get absolutely wrecked as soon as
that sounds awesome.
Will your missiles actually hit the surface and it'll like tell you just wiped out San Francisco or something?
I have no idea if you could actually fly close enough to Earth to hit it with missiles before the war fleets of the Federation closed in on you, but you're welcome to try. That's the main thing.
Yes. Wait. So Elite Dangerous takes place like in our universe?
Yeah, it's the year 3300, but it's this galaxy.
Oh, I assumed it was sort of a Star Wars in a galaxy far, far away kind of thing.
Nah, it's definitely this one.
Cool.
So yeah, it's potentially limitless. Alex mentioned he wanted to do smuggling in that sort of thing, which is definitely something you can do. I've done a small bit of it myself, but I want to tell the tale of
Pirate King.
Yeah. Because while I do smuggling and a bit of light trading and stuff like that, my main source of income in that game is bounty hunting, where I'll check out unrecognized signal sources or common trade routes, and I'll go find out who's being a naughty boy and then shoot them a lot, and then get paid for it, which is always fun. And most of the pirates tend to be AIs, because the majority of this galaxy is AI. It's actually scary how AI is. Like it's got its own economy that evolves due to like supply and demand that stretches the galaxy. It's pretty scary. But anyway, I rolled up into this system and started killing a lot of pirates, and I was doing really well. Oh, this is really easy. All these guys are shit. And I got contacted by one of the AI guys, and for the Federation, who I was collecting bounties from. They told me that the pirate gang that I was currently wiping out had a leader who was in a nearby system, and that I should go take them out. And if they do, then they'll grant me an extra 20,000 for his head on top of the already existing bounty that's on his head for another like 20,000. So that's a good deal for killing one dude. So I was like, yeah, I'll go do this. It's only one bloody pirate. I've killed like 7 on my way back to collect up the bounties. So I set off, And I sort of realized how well crafted the universe of Elite Dangerous is, because they don't tell you, oh, here's the pirate, go kill him. Because
I realized something while you're talking about Elite Dangerous. I love the idea of it, of just a space exploration. It's basically, but you can do kind of whatever you want. It's in the same way that Skyrim was supposed to be do whatever you want, but it's limited to one little thing. This is limited to the galaxy, so it's huge. But I want to see something of that level of Elite Dangerous, but with like something, say, like Star Trek or Star Wars, where, like with Star Wars, imagine a huge open world, but you get like fucking lightsabers and shit. That would be awesome.
Everyone is a Jedi.
Star Wars: The New Republic or whatever. Is that MMO?
Yeah, but that's an MMO. I don't want. I mean, I guess.
Also, it's already kind of dead.
Yeah, it's dead.
It's dead. It died about 6 months after it came out.
There's also Star Trek Online.
Galaxy. These galaxies are.
Star Wars Galaxies it's a long time ago. It was really good, but now it's going to be dead because.
Well, right, but I mean,
stuff to kill it.
I mean, I want something at the level of Elite Dangerous where, like, you're literally in the cockpit of a spaceship controlling the fucking levers and shit. I want that, but set in a universe that I already know. Not that I don't like the idea or the universe of Elite Dangerous,
but that's fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll probably have to wait until the new Star Wars trilogy has gained some momentum.
I'm not sure. I think it's more to do with the fact that Elite Dangerous and the upcoming Star Citizen are the first of their kind in like 30 years.
Yeah.
To do it properly. Like the last Elite game came out in the 80s. Arconix can remember playing it on the BBC Acorn. That was the computer he used to play that game. It had like 5 megabits of RAM.
That sounds like.
I thought you were going to say something like the ZX Spectrum.
But yeah. Anyway, back to the story. I started realizing how well done the universe is because they don't. It's not like in WoW where they'll just put a pin on your map and say, "Go there, kill the dude," and he's got a glowing arrow over his head. There he is. Go to the guy with the question mark over his head. You've done it. It doesn't hold your hand anywhere near that much. So I had to go out. I hunted down other bounties on people. In the meantime, I ended up stumbling across a trio of damaged AI traders who were limping away from a battle, and one of the traders just happened to mention over an open channel, "Thank God we escaped that damned pirate king in LHS 447. So
you're like, oh, I gotta check this shit out.
I'm gonna check this shit out. I was like, yeah, let's not go back there anytime soon. So popped LHS 3447 in my destination. Turned up there, found an unidentified signal source, reckoned it might have been in, popped out of faster than light travel. As soon as I popped out, I received a message that it looked like it'd been ripped straight out of something like One Piece, where this dude was going like, "Oh ho! Another one to challenge the Pirate King." I couldn't see this dude. I checked my radar, and there was one person behind me, so I swung around. I was in a Viper, which is a very, very good single-person fighter. It's a very nice ship. This guy was in a ship called an Anaconda, and it's about as big as a single-person ship can get without technically being a frigate.
Nice. That sounds okay. I'm liking this already. It sounds great.
And he was like, I was turning around. I saw this dude. He was pointed straight at me. To put this in perspective, like, when you start the game, you start the ship called the Sidewinder. It's small. It's an all-purpose ship. It's pretty shitty. You get 2 small hard, and you can fit small weapons to them. My Viper has 2 small hard points and 2 medium, and the medium can fit like turrets and gimbal mount and stuff. It's all nice. The Anaconda, I'm going to look up the exact numbers here.
I just did.
The exact number of hardpoints on the Anaconda, it is 2 small, 2 medium, 3 large, and it's the only ship in the game that can mount a huge hard point. I don't know what goes on.
So what you're saying is you were fucked.
Pretty much.
No, I think what Plum is saying here is that his anaconda don't want none unless he's got guns, hun.
Unless he's got huge hard points, hun.
Yeah, he's definitely going for my buns, that's for sure. So yeah, this guy had more weapons on his ship than about 8 of my ships, and he was talking about pretenders to the throne of the.
Oh my god!
He was all very dramatic.
Jesus.
That was when I turned around to face him. That was when he deployed hardpoints. It just popped up. Its opponent has deployed hardpoints. I was like, shit. So immediately, throttle forward, weapons out, diving to the right, putting on a spin to get out of the way of him. And I was like, I need to go around this guy because while he's got a lot of guns, most of them should be forward facing. So if I can get behind him, damage his engines, I could tear him apart from behind. And hey, cat. That was when my screen turned white, and my autopilot told me that I should eject.
Wait. Eject into space?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna go.
Apparently it was either that or explode. So.
Yeah. I exploded. Surprisingly enough.
No, I think you're right. As suffocating slowly in space would be a lot better.
No, there's a life pod. I'm assuming there's a life pod or something. But like, whatever you fit on a huge hard point is capable of taking down a reasonably large-sized ship in under an instant. Like, it just turned white and I was gone, done. And the last thing that I saw as my ship was just debris floating away was, aha! Another one vanquished by the great.
Oh my god! So clearly this Pirate King is something you're supposed to like take down with other people.
Yeah. Either that or turn up in an anaconda.
Yeah.
You can drive an anaconda yourself. It's only cost you like 18 million credits or something.
I would go for that if they added a feature where you literally like fight him with like space cutlasses on the hull of his ship.
Yeah, like what? Wait. Wasn't that was it First Contact? I think the Star Trek movie. I think it was First Contact where they fight on the hull of the Enterprise.
Yes.
Reminds me of Doctor Who, where they end up sword fighting on a spaceship floating above London.
Jesus Christ!
And he gets his hand cut off and he grows a new one. Done.
Just the idea of just the phrase sword fighting on a spaceship above London. It's like, oh well, you sold me. I'm in.
It writes itself.
Yes.
Yeah, and oh god, M1's pointing this out. Like, I mentioned that there are AIs in this game. All the AIs have names, like some of them are called John, some of them are called Steve. I've encountered Invader Zim.
Really?
M1 has encountered Invader Zim. M1 apparently saw Invader Zim try to smuggle something and get blown up.
That sounds like Invader Zim.
That sounds pretty great.
It sounds pretty. I've seen Irish comedians apparently in space.
Like Dara O'Brien.
What game? What's the title of this game again?
Elite Dangerous.
Elite : Dangerous, if you want.
Right. People didn't really like the prequel very much. Elite Not So Dangerous.
Yeah.
Or Elite : Dangerous? Fuck that.
Elite.
Yeah.
Elite Not Really Dangerous. Somewhat. It's sort of like. I don't know. Elite.
That's the
Elite funny joke.
Elite, you killed it. You killed it.
Deja would like to know, how tall are you, and when was the last time you had a booty call?
This is
Who are we asking this to, or is it just everyone?
I think it's no
rocking everywhere. Yeah.
I'm around 5'10" and I've never had a booty call.
5'10"? What are you, like a midget? You're an Oompa Loompa?
He's a pony.
I'm a little bit taller than 5'10". That was what I was last time I checked, which was like 2 years away.
How old are you? Like 14? Have you grown since then?
I'm a big squirrel. Like you joke, Alex, but a 5'10" squirrel would be Pretty big.
Terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying.
Look, would you rather fight one
Human-sized squirrel or
God damn
a
it.
dozen squirrel-sized humans?
I would rather fight one. I would rather fight one human-sized squirrel.
Now we have the basis for the squirrel deck in Cards Against Humanity.
But no, the real answer is to fight the dozen squirrel-sized humans because they can't do shit. You just kick them.
That is true. You just stomp on their little tiny heads.
Like the original
like
is a
acorns.
duck-sized horse or like 40 a horse-sized duck or 40 duck-sized horses. The correct answer is fight the horse-sized duck because its legs cannot support a horse. It's gonna like die on the ground with broken legs.
No one said that the duck was as wide as a horse. They just said a horse. Right, it's big. It's the equivalent weight, but in duck form. But yes, it's gonna have spindly fucking legs. So you just kick, boom, it's gonna snap like a twig.
Not even that. They're spindly, hollow legs. It's gonna collapse under its own weight.
You know what? That's a good point. You know, you raise a good point.
It's gonna have to drag itself forward with its wings to try and peg
Unless
at
it's got like Wolverine bones, but I don't think that's part of the deal.
Adamantium-coated duck feet. Yeah.
That would be a hell of a Chinese dinner.
God damn it, Alex.
When are we getting fired?
Always.
Well, Seattle isn't around to fire us. So.
We have a job.
True. Oh dear. So yeah, we talked.
So I'm 6'3". Plum's probably like 6'5" or something like that.
6'5" is about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you guys are so fucking tall.
Yeah.
I'm like 6'1", and I thought I was tall.
Hang on,
I'm
1
5'1".
second ago. Wait,
You're
really?
6'1". I'm short.
Yeah, I'm like 6'1". About
Really?
6'1".
I would not have said you looked 6'1".
Me?
That's what I'm saying. I thought you
I
were
would.
5'5".
I would have said you look 6'5". You look like 5'6".
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, now I can tell. I thought you were 17'5".
He's giving us the crotch shot.
That too.
Now wait, Plum, is that in feet or meters? Because if you're like 6'5" in meters,
And is meters spelled E-R or R-E? Meters.
RE obviously.
I'm actually doing it in kilometers, actually. So.
Oh shit. Kilos,
Yes.
as they're called.
Oh dear. I remember, actually, a friend of mine was playing Euro Truck Simulator and was getting extremely confused because they thought all our road signage was in kilometers per hour. And was
So it's in kilograms per hour.
was getting very annoyed because they got strangely specific speed limits, like 65 over the speed limit or whatever it is, when in fact it was in the wrong bloody units. So,
I thought you were gonna say it was like 65 kilograms per hour, which would be an interesting way to measure it.
yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. Do we have any more questions from Deja or whoever it was?
You
Deja.
immediately go to Deja.
We finally figured out how to pronounce his name.
Dosiak.
Yozu.
Dozu.
If you had to choose one completed story on Fimfic as the best story on Fimfic,
Oh,
boy.
I already answered that one.
he already answered it.
Yeah.
Did you?
What was your answer? Whenever
Yeah.
you
Oh,
spoke-
anything I've written.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, what was
Yeah.
the question?
Yes.
What is the best completed
best story on Fimfic, but it has to be completed.
One moment.
You know, I'm going to go back to prior conversation. I'm just going to say background pony and watch the world burn.
Ha! Apparently, unless Fimfic is being really laggy, none of the 147 stories in my favorites list are actually finished.
None of them.
Well,
Wait, that can't be true because you favorited a bunch, unless you've unfavored them after you favorited them. There's a bunch of my stories on that list, and like
Or
all
did
of
you
them
just
are
click on the
finished.
thing? You have to go to view all by something or another to show.
What?
So you might be looking at it wrong.
I have no idea. No, the only thing I've changed in this is that I've put status completed in the requirements. That's the only thing I've changed, and apparently none of them are, which does sound wrong.
That does sound wrong.
Because I'm sure there are one chapter stories which I've favoured. In fact, I know there are because there were bloody 3 of them in the last round alone.
Do you favorite all the stories that you review?
No, I favoured the ones that I like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I do. I just said I didn't know. That was a question. I was just.
Yeah.
Alex, you scrub.
So scrub.
Yeah.
So I would normally pick Jaxie here, but his fic is still technically incomplete, so I can't pick that. So I would probably either choose Going Up by Chris.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Really?
Which that was one of the ones that he had done for a contest a while back. Or I probably either that one or Friendship is Optimal.
Oh.
I've not actually read that last one. I would, having had a look at some things I used to have as my recommended stuff, I would go with It Takes a Village.
For a more serious answer, I'm going to go with Through the Wall of Pyrene.
It's not completed though, is it?
Yeah, it's complete.
It is complete.
Is it? Oh,
I remember
like 3 months ago.
I'm sorry. I don't keep track of everything.
Seattle's Angels gave it the angel bump.
We did review it, didn't we?
Yeah, we reviewed it when it had like no.
If I'm gonna give a more serious answer, then I would say Switchaloo. Switchaloo is one of my favorite stories of all time. It's so fucking funny. I love that story. It's why it's in my top favorites list on my user page.
Well of Pyrene is complete with 353,000 words.
I remember, because while I'm playing Elite Dangerous, I tend to like have a podcast on, or like things like Hello Internet or the Receive podcast on the background, because it's nice to actually have something to occupy my ears other than just the noise of a spaceship. And I actually recently re-listened to the Wonder D random Ask Me Anything stream from I think Christmas of last year. And oh god, I can't remember who it was, but someone in the stream a couple of hours in said the Well of Pyrene had every possible ingredient to colossally fuck up Human in Equestria and did it perfectly. And I was just listening to this while I was going and just, that's pretty cool. I hadn't heard of the story at that time though, so
that was Ether Echoes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Good old. I remember him from Fic, way back in the day.
That's true.
No idea who said it though, so
cool guy.
He's Jokra and Cat.
Yeah, I know. But I've known him as
No, I'm
Ether
talking
for
to
long
Plum.
before that. But yeah.
No, I know.
I know.
Okay.
Ether Echo is Jack. I'm saying that I can't remember who said it in the Ask Me Anything.
Okay.
I don't know if I have like a favorite story, but I do have stories that like I have really good memories of. So for that one, I'm probably gonna have to say Dangerous Business. No, I mean not because it's necessarily the best story I've ever read, but because it was like the first story that showed me that you could actually write epic ponies and it could work out pretty well.
Actually,
and it inspired me to do that myself.
Fair
It was
enough.
it was one of the stories that got me writing pony fic. So
Oh, I'm surprised no one said A Fleeting Light in the Darkness.
Oh.
I was not going to
You're
say
going to
because
have to
I've
give
already.
us like 6 or 7 stories we can pick as our favorites.
Yeah.
Yes, I've
Yeah.
touted that story plenty of times. That's why I picked it this time because Switchaloo is fucking great.
March.
Wasn't that is that Worst Writer? Or...
Yes, the worst writer.
Yeah.
Despite his name, not the worst writer.
Mm.
Wait, really? No,
I
okay.
know.
Sorry, I'm distracting myself here. So I looked up. We reviewed Well of Pyrene
Yes.
in
I
Seattle's
was on
Angel.
that round.
Yeah, that was C Squared, Nietzsche, and Casca.
He was still there back then?
Yeah, round
He
16.
was the one who suggested it.
And he agreed to it? I
I
thought he
think
hated
he
everything.
Suggested it.
Oh.
Because
He's the one who
he
brought
loves
it
him
up.
some humans, and that was a well done human fic. This was round 16, March 16th, 2013, and then if I go and cross-reference the dates on the fic, we reviewed it with only chapter 1 up.
Oh my
Well,
god.
at the time, I think it was
At the time, it only had
chapters,
chapter. It only
but
had
he
one
combined
chapter.
those in one chapter.
Oh, did he?
Oh.
Yeah.
See,
So it was
what-
at 2 or 3 chapters, but it's now what is chapter 1.
Okay. And right now it's complete with 23 chapters and a 2-part epilogue. So.
Wait, I actually decided on my favorite. I have 2 favorites.
Oh.
Can I have 2 favorites?
Ooh.
No,
I did. So yes.
The Best Night Ever, that Blue Blood time loop story,
Yeah.
and Somewhere Only We Know by Patrick Poltergeist.
Mm.
Because I was like, that's
I'm
that's like literally the only sad story that in all of Ponyfic that actually made me kind of sad.
Really?
Yes.
I like the song. The song
Have
by
you-
Keen. It's pretty
Red,
good.
you
It's a good song. It's a good song.
Tired
It
by
is a good song. It's a great song. I love that song.
Red, have you read Tired by Evan Main?
I've heard of that author, but no.
Yeah, because that's a really sad fic, and it is great.
I'll have to look it up.
You should read it.
It's not like I like being sad, but yeah, I'll look
Yes, you
it up.
do. You're a masochist. Admit it.
I actually first heard like Somewhere Only We Know when I watched the Winnie the Pooh trailer, because they had that in the trailer. And I was like, hey, this is a good song. I wonder what this is. And then everyone should also watch Winnie the Pooh, because
Oh yeah, no.
Winnie the Pooh.
Was it just called Winnie the Pooh, that one that came out like 5 years ago?
the most recent one, was actually just called Winnie the Pooh. Came
It's
out-
great though. It's fantastic.
It's God, I love that movie.
It's really good. Do you remember the Winnie the Pooh movie about Valentine's Day?
Yes, I'm pretty
Where
sure I
Christopher
know.
where Christopher Robin Pooh thinks that he's got like a girlfriend or whatever,
Yeah.
and he gets all upset, and then they're like in a cave and shit.
What?
You don't remember this?
Oh
I've
God,
never seen
I
this.
kind of remember
I've
that
never
one. I'm
seen
trying to look it up. Right.
Yeah, it was called
On Valentine's Day, was it?
No.
No.
It had I forget what it was called, but I remember because I had it on VHS.
Or maybe that was part of the TV show, because I kind of remember.
No. It was a full movie. It was straight to VHS, I believe.
There were a
And,
lot of those, yeah.
Well, yeah, I had that one, and Christopher Robin. There's like a part where they catch fireflies and shit, and Christopher Robin keeps telling Pooh about this special somebody he's got a Valentine's Day card for, and Pooh's like, "Oh, I guess you have a girlfriend now," and he's really upset, and he kind of he tries to go to Christopher Robin's school, and they end up like in this cave. And when they finally get out of it, they meet Christopher Robin again, and it turns out that the card that he was going to give to somebody all along was for Pooh, and obviously,
I didn't expect them to go the mail shipping route there.
I know, but look,
Mm.
Disney was very progressive back in the early 2000s.
When I think of Disney, the word that immediately jumps to mind is progressive. Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
there was another Valentine's special. I think it was called On Valentine's Day. And it was basically Winnie the Pooh and the others try to have their own Valentine's Day, but they just fuck it all up because that's what they do.
Yeah.
And
Do you
that was a
remember?
good
Do you
one.
remember the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh?
Yes, I watched it.
Mm.
I watched that show religiously when I was a kid.
Pooh
Bear,
Winnie the
Winnie the Pooh Bear.
Was something
Oh,
about
wherever you go, I want to know.
Won't you take me
won't
there,
you
Pooh
take
Bear, Winnie
Winnie
the
the
Pooh?
Pooh Bear.
I love that show. It was great. My grandmother used to record it on VHS for me. So whenever we were to go to visit her house, she would always have all these tapes, and we would watch it. It was great. Miss that show.
But there's this one really great moment in like the newest one where they're all stuck because in the newest one somehow they all end up stuck in a hole in the ground because they're always getting stuck somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and like and everyone's just sitting there wondering how it all came to this and how their well laid plans got them in a hole in the ground. And then Eeyore just comes out with like, "We're all gonna die." I just burst out laughing in this. I actually watched it in the theater.
Really?
Like I was the only one who laughed at that in the theater. I just burst out laughing, and they were like, all
Yeah,
these
yeah.
little kids there, and they're like, "Why is he laughing?"
Yeah, I remember that. That was a really Eeyore has always been like one of my favorite characters. He's so funny. But do you remember
Chono chiming in real quick that he's asking if this is the episode about Tsundere Christopher Robin.
Yes, obviously.
Silly old bear. It's not like I like you or anything.
Jesus Christ. This is the conversation before it started.
Boy, look. I bet you. The sad thing is, I bet you that there's a porn fic somewhere out there on fanfiction.net called "Silly Old Bear" about Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh.
Probably.
You know, segue. Nighty's talking about.
What? No. You cannot segue from that. Then no. There's nowhere to segue to.
Yeah, Nighty is going to allow original fiction and other fiction on the site.
So what you're saying is now you're going to be able to publish all your Winnie the Pooh / Christopher Robin fics?
No, I mean that in the tradition of us creating on the podcast for you to write, you are now going to write.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa. I'm not writing Christ Pooh / fic.
Well, duh. It's obviously Pooh Eeyore. Anyway,
Christ. No, it's clearly
Christ Pooh would be a really
and,
great ship
Tigger.
name.
Tigger, yes, Tigger. Christ.
Oh my god.
One T-shirt that came out.
Are there any Winnie the Pooh characters that start with the letter N?
No.
Damn, because I was gonna say their ship name with Tigger.
Where my mind went was Tigger's cousin. Wait!
Oh, we're all fired.
I hate you all.
We're all
I'm
fired.
going to fire myself.
We're all fired forever.
Yes, Tigger's cousin from Compton.
God damn it.
I thought Tigger's cousin, and then I realised what that would make.
Oh my god.
Now we know that Alex has advanced onto incest.
This is infinitely worse. This is infinitely worse because we're all white. God damn it!
Actually, I disagree with that. Red's red.
Yeah.
All of us on camera are white. Oh God!
I'll tell you guys what makes the red squirrel red.
Are you referencing Peter Pan?
Yes, you were. I was trying to be funny like everybody else.
Oh,
that was so sad the way you said that.
He's the
Now you
eel.
need a hug.
Oh dear, we're all terrible. Luckily, this is the part of the show where everyone's already fucked off to do something else and just forgotten they've left it running.
No, that's not true. They're talking about Winnie the Pooh ships. They're talking about Alex Pooh, Piglet Rabbit.
Pooh.
Tigger
Tigger
slash
Pinky.
Pinky. Yeah.
Tigger Pinky.
I could see that.
Mm.
That actually makes a
Yeah.
scary amount of sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of terrifying.
No, what? Are you guys being serious right now? That doesn't make any sense. That's no. No.
Actually, now try to ship fix it.
No.
They both bounce.
What's
They
happening
both bounce.
is
They have a common ground.
Yeah. What's happening is that people are encroaching upon Alex's sacred childhood memories. What we need to do is we need to keep going and ruin it forever for him, so that he'll get more depressed and spend more time writing bloody Suplexia or Christopher Robin Pooh shipfix.
Tsundere Christopher Robin.
Tsundere, yes.
Wasn't there that one T-shirt that came out a while ago where it was like Winnie the Pooh in real life, and it was basically like them all actual animals. And like, Winnie the Pooh was like fighting Tigger, who was an actual tiger, and like Piglet has been like to shreds on the ground.
There was a really funny picture of Pooh a long time ago. This was like vintage internet, I guess, of him like as a really big fat fuck with just like his hands shoved in a big like a honey pot, and he just looks obese. I don't know if I can find it.
Oh my! What? What even?
Chono, what did you do?
Chono, what?
Oh no!
Chono.
Oh no! I don't want to click this. I've clicked it.
Oh boy!
I'm waiting
What?
to load.
Wait, what?
What?
I like that Christopher Robin has a Tanuki tail.
Mhm.
Apparently, he's got like a Glasgow smile going on too, or something.
I like that the Pooh has gone. I like that they've both gone incredibly emo.
All I did just now was type obese Winnie the Pooh into Google. Hold on. The first result is a YouTube link saying obese Winnie the Pooh talking about obesity.
I have to listen to this.
So I am gonna link that in the Skype chat.
Let's watch this after the
no.
There you go.
Oh god, it's like bloody Gamer Mario all over again.
I thought you said Game of Thrones.
Game of
I was like, I don't remember any obese characters in Game of Thrones, except for Sam.
Like, but I was gonna. Winnie the Pooh doesn't share an awful lot in common with Game of Thrones. I need to laugh.
Not an awful lot. So there's some.
Alex, how did we get from our favorite stories onto this topic?
I don't know.
Well, let's see. It went from somewhere only we know to Winnie the Pooh in the trailer, and then we started talking about Winnie the Pooh, and then we started talking about shipping between Tigger and Pinky, and then Total linked that.
Have you seen this video?
I've never watched it.
It's pretty great.
This may be very disturbing for small children.
I've opened the video. I'm kind of scared.
This is fantastic.
Winnie the Pooh.
Plumb down. What?
I just like the fact that it's just that still image of that fucking pissed off obese Winnie the Pooh just said, obesity.
In the related videos for me anyway, is Winnie the Pooh is an inappropriate hermaphrodite. as opposed to an appropriate hermaphrodite.
See, oh no, that is on mine. It's further down.
There you go. I posted it.
The first few results for me are motivational videos. Because apparently I need it after seeing obese Winnie the Pooh talking about obesity.
Don't end up nice.
Well, and I just clicked. Oh, okay, it's from the same people. I clicked on the Winnie the Pooh is an inappropriate hermaphrodite, and the next top one is topless women fight for the right to toplessness. As you know, like as you do.
Just Christ Almighty. Internet, why?
I didn't know that was actually like a thing where people fight for the right to be topless.
Yeah.
It is, apparently.
Oh, Jesus. The Mean Girls crossover, pal. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, check my link.
Oh, God.
I'd rather not.
Oh, God.
Wait, what is this?
It's more Winnie the Pooh. This is the Winnie the Pooh edition of the podcast, apparently.
Oh, Pav, I've seen that Winnie the Pooh meets. My favorite one is the one where he's sitting on the tree next to Piglet, and he's like, "Hey, Christopher," and then somebody says something about the skirt. And
I've seen this before.
as he's walking away, he's like, "That's the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen."
Yeah, it's the one at the bottom.
Yeah. Mean Girls is one of my favorite movies. Mean Girls is so good.
Oh dear.
No kidding.
What? Oh god. Obbs has linked Winnie the Pooh meets The Shining.
The pooing.
Oh Jesus.
What am I even looking at?
I'm
All
watching
hope is lost.
Wow.
The
Honey
honey
Oh,
prices are down.
Fucking Piglet, Jesus Christ.
All the topless bears with the
All hope
one.
is lost,
Oh
everyone.
my god.
The Piglet.
Yeah. So instead of the blood coming out of the elevator, it's bloody honey. Fuck.
and then Piglet.
Oh god! Here's Winnie.
Okay, so the stream is pretty much over. We're just gonna go.
Yes,
I
we
like
should.
how that whole thing was just like a huge anticlimax.
Yeah,
We're gonna go.
we should
Bye.
go.